Carl and Erynn here, and it's mandolin picking time in Hillsville. We're going to do Ed Haley's Ate the Woodchuck, Kentucky fiddler, and his wife Martha played the mandolin. So I think it'll work out pretty good here. We'll get Erynn on the guitar and give it a go here. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Here we go. Haley's Ate the Woodchuck. Thank you, Erynn. That's a lot of fun. Yeah. All right, we'll slide in here and dig into a little bit of the melody, and all the variations that Ed Haley did are all pretty amazing, and we'll try to grab a few of those here. And first of all, though, let's just think about the chords that she was playing on the guitar, because Martha did a great kind of streamline, just straight on the beat back up, and with open chords work great. So let's just look at that first. With a D chord for a measure, just all 4 beats, and then G, back to D, and an A, split to D. 2 strums on A and 2 beats of each. That's halfway through, and you do it again. D to G, and this time it's nice. She goes to the A, which kind of sneaks the A where you think it's going to be a D. That's the whole first and second part. So D to G, D, split the A to D. Nice. The open chords sound great because you can strum all the strings, get a big ring. But also what can be nice if you have several instruments playing is just to work maybe the bass string, your D, maybe the 2nd fret, and the open D string, and kind of slide up to that 4th fret with the open 3rd string, back to that, bar the bass strings. That's kind of a nice sound too. So that works pretty good. Just put that 4th fret back to 2 and then bar. Bass walk. And the 3rd part, that's for both parts there. And then the 3rd part goes to a G and a D and a D. Does that twice. So pretty easy, straightforward, which is nice. And as I often say, that the benefit of just a 2-string chord is you have other fingers to do some little melodic enhancement, maybe add that little you can even change string sets, but just getting that little flutter kind of. So think about that kind of stuff as we play this tune, and we'll go ahead and get in the melody. And I think a good way to start on the first part, you're going to use your little finger. So let's just start with our 3rd finger on the 5th fret, 2nd string, and let's play up to that, we're starting just the 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. And let's go up the little finger to that 7th fret B. Just kind of find those notes, because we're going to use those a lot. And even, you'll find as the pattern starts to reveal itself. So that'd be a good, just getting your fingers warmed up for playing those notes. So the first phrase that he does, and the first part's going to be just starting with that 2nd fret, and then it leaves out the open string. So let's just try that a few times. And then you're going to keep going. I'll do that phrase one more time. That's our first phrase. Then you have the open string. And this time you're going to leave out that 3rd fret note, and it goes 2, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 2. So, And a really good thing to think about, you're using that 5 a lot, kind of anchor that 5 really solid when you get up there. So anchor this one, and your little finger anchor, and then you're back. I think that'll help, you know, for these phrases that get a little bit challenging for your left hand. So anchor that 5th, anchor that, because you hit it, you know, 3 times, don't you? See, yeah, 3 times. Then you're back to your first phrase again, but you hit this 5th fret twice, and you have an ending phrase where you kind of keep that 5th fret on the 2nd string, and you're working the open and 2nd fret on the 1st. So let me just do that much there and let you hear that. So first, 3 measures there. 1, 2, nice and slow, right up the scale from that 2nd fret. Anchor that 5th, 2 open, and then back to that first phrase. But 5, 5 on the 2nd string, open, 2, and open on that 1st string. One more time, just try to get that melody in your head. 1, 2, here we go. 5, 5, open, 2, and open. Then you have a little pull off from that 2nd fret to open, and you're starting off. Those are kind of your phrases. You're going to repeat them in different orders. So it was really good about mixing and matching in a different way every time around. So this time we have that the one where we anchored our 5th fret. Well, actually, you know, it's a little different. I think he actually goes here, and we're getting a little more of the nuances. He actually does. So he did something different there too. Then you're back to that anchor, and then back to that little more scaly one. 5, 5. So he has about 4 different ways he does those notes. That's pretty cool. So let me do that whole thing. That's what I've done on the tab too. I kind of did a little bit of a shortcut. We keep going with some of those same phrases, and I just have to follow it through. I'll do it. I'll go ahead and do both with the 1st and 2nd ending so you can hear all the way this is mixed and matched one time. First part of Haley's A to Woodchuck. 1, 2, here we go. Anchor, scale, 5, 5, open, 2, pull off, 5, 5, 7, 5, anchor, the scaly one. Then you have open, syncopate. That last little phrase is just the, you're holding that D down, you're working that 2nd fret, but it's what I call a middle reach, and just going open and hitting that 5th fret, and then you go back to the open again. So count-wise, 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, and then it keeps going. You go back to that little. There's a variation too. Let's look at that one time where you have the 2nd fret and open, and then you're back to that territory. Then I go back up to the repeat on the tab, which is that scaly one again. Keep going. Anchor, the 2nd ending right here, and it's a little different here as well. So I'll try to do all those one more time. So he's really got about 5 different ways he mixes and matches that similar phrases. So that's the thing that's challenging about playing Ed Haley's, trying to really play what he did. But a wonderful thing to try to do. So I'll try to do all those phrases in the right order here in the tab there. So the first part, nice and slow, so you can kind of hear and listen for those variations where those 5th frets come up, double up, or anchor, and or go right up the scale. So 1, 2, first part. Anchor, the scale, open 2 and open, pull off, 5, 5, anchor, first ending, scale, and syncopate, 3rd line, 5, 5, bounce, back up to that repeat, open 2 and open, pull off, 2nd line, 5, 5, anchor, 2nd ending's coming up, scale, well, so the 2nd ending goes like this, sorry. So that's a variation there. I hadn't talked about that, I think. So it goes up, open, then that D chord, and the syncopated lick. So let me do that second ending for you. 1 second ending here. Syncopate. There we go. Good. Now the second part is really fun. It gets into the second string more on the middle string. So it's like a hammer on the open to second fret first string. Then you fall down. So let me just do that a few times for you. That's the first phrase. It comes up a couple times there. So you have a hammer. And you could pick both those notes. Remember your hammers and slides and all. You can pick both notes sometimes, depends on the speed of the tune. And then, just what kind of sound you want. The hammer sometimes can be easier. So you have a hammer. Then you're working that 5, 2 open on the second string. 4, 2 open and back to 4 open. So listen to that a few times. So that's our first phrase. Let me do that a couple more times for you. The second part, 1, 2, 3, hammer, middle strings, open 2, open that. Right, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now this time a little variation on the same territory. He goes. Let's just do that a few times. Yep. Here's how he finishes this one. And again, a syncopated. Try this little syncopated phrase. So it really outlines that middle reach there with a lot of open strings too. So let me do those two phrases together. That's halfway through that second part there. And you only do the second part once. So here's the hammer. A little variation. Syncopate. I'll do that again. 1, 2, 3. Great. Then the next time it goes open, last beat's up, open the open string. Then you have that. So it's pretty much the same, but it keeps moving this time. So it has a little. Let me play these two phrases together, the last two phrases, and see. You can see the variation there. So here it is. Well, let me just start from the whole thing because it gets confusing if we don't. So hammer, the first two phrases we did. Yeah. Do that one more time. You're only going to do that part once, but let me play it one more time for you. Then we'll get in the third part, which is a lot of fun there. So the second part, it only being once is kind of, you got to keep that in mind. The backup people will figure it out because it's the same chords, which is nice as the first part. So one time through the second part, and then we'll do the third part. So it starts with a hammer, nice and slow this time. 2, 5, open, 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 ending phrase, syncopate. All right, now we get to do a nice hammer. The G chord's arriving. The second string open to 2. Okay, let's just try that phrase really slow. Hammer, open 2. Then you got 2, 5, 2, open, third string 4, 2. And you're going to do a little slide. So, and on the, when I was playing it earlier, as I was playing it with the guitar, I might have lost track of some of these phrases, but that's the thing about Ed Haley. When you slow them down and really try to figure them out, you really see, oh, there's a lot in there. So I love this. Here's the first phrase of the third part. Then he goes 4, 5, hammer or slide. Then, so let me do those together. And one more time. Then you go open 2, slide from 4 to 7. I'm using my second finger. That's a nice little slide to a unison. And it's working the... familiar territory. So let me do those 4 measures. Then we got the same chord progression and similar phrases. So that's almost the whole half of the third part. I'll do the first part again. You know, the first half of the third part, I should say. Hammer. That unison slide. And the first 2 strings. And just a little chord strum there. And a lot of fiddlers do that. You know, you'll have a little chord flourish at the end so that just put that back down for a chord strum. And I think you'll find a lot of good fiddlers put those in. You almost don't notice them till you really listen to them. They're putting those little beautiful finishing chords at the last little upbeat or something there. So you gotta watch them. They sneak them in. You don't even notice it there. But it's really nice to try to do that on the mandolin too. So that last phrase, we'll put a little chord flourish. Then you have the hammer. Syncopate. So not too bad. So I'll just play the third part a couple times, and then I'll do all 3 parts for you one time, and we'll have something to aim for. And like I say, all those variations can be tricky, but they're worth slowing down and trying to just get them ironed out, and then you can kind of mix and match them as Ed Haley would have done there. So third part one more time. 1, 2, third part. Unison and syncopate and the chord flourish. And you repeat that. Unison, chord. And I think he actually played, a lot of times he'd play that, so I have that in the tab. So that last little phrase is 4/5, open second with the 4/5. So a little really pretty scale flourish. Find that 4/5, open 4/5, then you're into that scale chord. So here's the whole Haley Ate a Woodchuck in 3 parts. And again, I'll play it slow because to get all those little variations, I'll try to follow my tab, and hope you'll make some sense out of it there. And just go back and listen to Ed Haley, though, on YouTube. You can find that link pretty easy. Just type in Ed Haley, and the different tunes will pop up, and you can find the one you're looking for pretty easy. So here we go. First part twice, you know, and then you got the second part once, third part's repeated. So here we go, nice and slow. Anchor, scale. Third line, 5/5, bounce, repeat part, first line, pull off, second line, second ending, second part, and the third part. Repeat that. There's some kind of ending. I went up to this high 10, 7, 5, and you could just do that. Let's see. So if you just, one thing about the man is shifting. I shift by, let's see. You can hit an open string, so maybe 10, 7, 5, open. Then you got 7, 5. Maybe a a nice little phrase like that might be nice. And then we'll do a typical, so shift. Maybe just something typical there. So that might be a nice ending. And making up your own endings is fun, but I'm doing that. I'll do it one more time. Open shift, 7, 5, 2. So have fun, playing straight open ringing chords behind this, and I think it'll be a treat to get other people playing this. And also, you don't have to do all the variations that Ed Haley did, but it's great to try to work them out, and just appreciate how remarkable a fiddler he was. So I hope you enjoy this tune and enjoy your mandolins every day. All right, take care.